Hi everyone, my name's Kate and I'm helping Eden Communities to get you all set up for the big lunch this 5th and 6th of June. If you would like to host a big lunch event online via Zoom, then this is how you can set it up using Eventbrite so that you have an event listing which people can register for in advance so you can see who's going to be attending your event and view any information that you need about your attendees. So what we're going to do in this video is set up an event listing on Eventbrite, which is publicly visible and allows people to register in advance of your event. And as I say, you can collect information that you'll need for your event ahead of time. I'll also show you how you can schedule a Zoom meeting in advance to generate a link, which you then pop onto your Eventbrite listing so that people can join your event once it is live. So first of all, you're going to need to create an account through Eventbrite, and this is free to do. So you might want to pause the video here whilst you head off and do that. You need to go to eventbrite.co.uk, and that's eventbrite.co.uk, and set up your account. So pause the video now if you need to head off and do that, and then you can come right back. Once you have your Eventbrite account set up, you just need to log in. And once you've logged in, you can click in the right-hand top corner here and select your account. And that will take you to your events page. And that's what you're seeing here. So what you want to do is click on this nice big orange button that says Create Event. Now, don't be put off by Eventbrite. It has a lot more options and categories and things for you to select than you're actually going to need. So don't worry about that for now. Just stick with the categories and the sections that I'm going to walk you through today, and that will be enough to get your event listed and visible by people who want to join. So firstly, you need to put in the basic information about your event. And we're going to start with the event title. If this needs to be anything in particular, then the Eden Communities team will let you know what to call your event. But for me, I might want to call this the East Lothian Big Lunch. That's where I live. And the organizer will be you here in this box. This is my company account that I'm using at the minute. And the event type here, there are lots and lots of different event types. So let's just call this a festival or fair. And the category charities and causes. You can, or community and culture, you can call it whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. And you don't need to put a subcategory in. We'll leave the tags for now. They're not too important as we're going to be listing your event on the Eden Communities website anyway. So when we get to location, this is going to be an online event. So select that option there, and there's nothing else you need to add in. You need to add in the date and time. And as this is a once only event, single event is pre-selected and that's fine. You'll want to select the date that the event starts and the start time as well. And this is in the 24-hour clock. So you can just scroll around until you find the time that suits and select that. You'll also want to select the end date and the end time. Bear in mind that if you have a free account on Zoom, then your meeting will be limited to 40 minutes. You can only select 30-minute increments on Eventbrite, but that's okay. You can change that in the event listing itself. You can put the text in. And it's going to display the start time and the end time to anyone who's interested. So click Save and Continue, and that is the first step done. Okay, so here we are now getting into the slightly more detailed bits and pieces for the event. So we will send you a Eden Communities big lunch image that you can use. I don't have one preloaded on my laptop, but I'll show you how you can add that image. Once you've got it, in your email or from the website, simply download that and click on this grey box here. And it will open up your downloads for you to add an image. I'm just going to add my company's logo here as a nice, easy image. And it'll show you the view that you will have of your images, the clear box in the middle. I've used a really bad image for this, so don't worry about it. Yours will be set up so that it's the right size. But then simply click the orange save button in the bottom right corner there, and that will save your event image. So here we are now at the event description, and it asks you for a small summary, and then you can go into a more detailed description underneath if you like. So in the summary, you might want to say East Lothian's big lunch event. All welcome to join. And then in this bigger description text box underneath, if you want to put more details about the time that your event is going to be running, you know, who it's for, where you're based, or if you're going to be doing anything during the event, such as games or, you know, discussing certain topics, then you can pop that in here. So you can say games from 12 o'clock. Feel free to bring your lunch with you. There we go. And we'll not worry about any of the other buttons on here. We'll just keep it really nice and simple. And again, bottom right corner, orange button, save and continue. And that's your second page done. Okay, so we're now on to the attendee event page. Once attendees have registered for your event, they'll be able to see the attendee online event page. And this will give them access to your Zoom meeting using the link that we're going to put into Eventbrite. We're not going to do that at the moment. We just want to set up the listing first, and then we'll add in the online event Zoom links. So we'll go to the bottom right corner and we'll click the skip button, and we'll come back to this later. Okay, let's create tickets. Now your event will be free, so it's not quite ticketed as such, but because we're using an event platform to deal with your registrations, this is just how it works. So you've got the panel on the right-hand side, which shows you the different ticket options that you've selected. So you want to select free, that middle option there, and make sure that it's highlighted in blue. And you can leave the name as general admission, that's absolutely fine, or you can name your ticket something like Big Lunch. And you can set the quantity. So if you don't want any more than, say, 15 people to join your event, then you just put that number in there. However many tickets you put into the available quantity box is the maximum number of people that will be able to register for your event. And then the price box is grayed out because we are not going to be charging. And sales start. This is the date and time that you want your sales to begin. Well, let's assume that we want these to begin as soon as your link is live. So we'll just make sure that we've selected today's date, and it's fine if it says midnight on today's date. That will ensure that your ticket sales go live instantly. And the sales end, make sure that this is the date and the time of your event start. So we have the 5th of June at 12 o'clock, which is when I said my event was going to happen. And then the orange save button in the bottom right corner, and that's your tickets created. So here we are. This is just a little preview of the tickets you've set up. We've set up the tickets called Big Lunch, and they're on sale now. That little green light says that they are on sale, and those sales end on the 5th of June at 12 o'clock. And 0 out of the 15 tickets available have been booked, and they are free. So we're going to click on the orange next button in the bottom right corner to go to the last stage, which is publish your event. So we want your event to be public so that people can view it, and that's fine, that's what's selected. And should we publish your event now? Yes, again, that's already pre-selected for you, so there's nothing we need to do here. We'll just click the big orange button in the bottom right corner which says publish, and that publishes your event publicly so people can find it. There we go. So now what we're seeing at the top of the page is a link which says share with friends. And this is the link that you need to send to the Eden Communities group via email so that we can put it on our website. So you want to highlight this and then right click and copy, or you can click on the two little squares at the right hand side there to copy it. And then paste that into an email to us. Right click and paste and send to the Eden Communities team, and we'll make sure that that link is put up on our website so that people can find your event and register for it. Now I'm going to take you through some of the custom questions that you might want to set up for people attending your event if you want to know any additional information about these people, such as their location or their age, for example. So when you sign into Eventbrite, you want to, again, in the top right corner there, you want to navigate to Manage My Events. So let's navigate to there now and do this together as you will see it. You'll have a list of events here, and there it is, East Lothian Big Lunch. So we'll click on that, and that will take us to the page for our Big Lunch event so we can edit some of the registration questions. There we go. So to add in your registration questions, you want to go to the panel on the left-hand side of your screen. And there's lots of different options here, but don't worry about these. You want to select Order Options and click on that, and it will bring down a little drop-down menu. And you want to click on Order Form. And this takes us to the order form that people will see when they register for your events. Okay, there's a lot going on this website, but don't worry. You simply want to select this little toggle, Customize Checkout Questions. So it's just a few lines down from the top under Attendee Information. Click on this and the slider moves across to the right and it opens up the Information to Collect view underneath. So you can see already people are required to include their first name, their surname, and their email address. You might also want people to include their home address. And you can ask people to include this, but you can also toggle whether that is required or not. You might just want it for general information, but you might not want to suggest that people have to provide you with their address. However, you can pop that there. If you don't want to ask people for their full home address, but you would just like to know what their postcode is to see if they're in your area, then you can add a custom question. And it's the same for anything that's not already visible here in this Information to Collect view. So go to the bottom of the list of Information to Collect and there's some blue text which says Add Custom Question. And we're going to click on that. There we go. And this opens up the custom question page. So the question prompt, that is simply just the question. And you can type your question in here or your text type. And I have put in postcode. Next, we have the question type. We don't want this to be a checkbox because people are going to have to type in their address rather than select one. So we'll click on that and select text. And then we can leave the optional settings underneath as they are, they're fine, and click the orange Save button. And then if you scroll down on the Information to Collect view, there you can see at the bottom, it's saying that the postcode is both requested and required of people who register for your event. Again, you might want to ask the age of the people attending, so you can add custom question again at the bottom with the blue text. And question prompt, the question, you can either ask for age or date of birth. And again, select text so that people can type in the number, and select the orange save button. And now you can see on information to collect, we've got first name, surname, email address, postcode, and date of birth are all required for people to register for your event. And there's nothing else we need to do on this page. So we'll scroll right to the very bottom and just click on the big orange save button at the bottom of that page before we leave. There we go. And that's everything that you need to do to set up your event on Eventbrite and send the link to us at the Eden Communities. If you need to go back to copy your URL to the event listing, or you would like to see what your event page looks like, when you are in the event view, go to the toolbar at the very top of the page, and here you can select a button that says View, and this will take you to the web page with your event listing, which attendees can see. So here's the event image which I used. Here's the date and the name of my event, the name of the organizer, which will be you. Once you have created an account, you can see the description here, the bigger description about the event, the date and time again here, and the location saying it's an online event. And there's this nice big green button which says register right underneath the word free, so people know it doesn't cost them to register for the event. If they click on that register button there, this takes them to the registration page to order a ticket, so they can order themselves the number of tickets needed. They can click register. And here, this is already auto-filled for me, but they put in their contact information, and there you can see the postcode and date of birth are required as we submitted before. And then they'll hit the register button, which will light up once they have filled in every section required. There we are, an orange register button, and that will register them, send them a ticket to their email address and a link to join the Eventbrite listing to access your Zoom link. And you will also be able to view your registrations for the event. So I'm going to show you how to do this now. So I'm going to close the attendee view here. And we're going to go back to our event. So again, if you're just logging in or you're elsewhere on the Eventbrite site, to navigate to your event, click on the logo in the top right-hand corner, that's for your account, and click Manage My Events. And it will take you to your listings of all of the events you have scheduled in your account. And here we are, East Lothian Big Lunch. Just click on that and it will take us to our event listing from the organizer's view. And it takes you straight to the event dashboard, which looks a bit overly complex. There's a lot going on here as well. But what's really useful to see in all sorts of different views is how many tickets have been sold or registered. You can see that there. And if you want to see who has registered and their information that they've put in when they've registered, scroll down until you see this common reports section on this event dashboard page and click on custom questions responses. If you click on that, it will give you the responses that everybody has put in when they registered for your event. So take us to this page, and yes, we want all of this information. And if you have Excel, you can download this as an Excel sheet, and you'd select Excel here, or you can download it as a CSV file if you know what those are and you handle those. Just click on that and it will download for you automatically. Then you'll be able to open that up and view the information in a spreadsheet of everybody who is registered to attend your event. So that's everything you need to know to list an event on Eventbrite. And I'm now going to move over to Zoom and show you how to schedule a Zoom meeting to generate a link for you to add to your Eventbrite page. So you might want to stop there and come back to this. Or you might just want to pause and make sure you've got everything sorted on your Eventbrite listing first. If so, then feel free to do that. And I'm going to head over to Zoom now. So if you haven't got a Zoom account, again, it's free to set one up. Simply do that. And again, this is a good time to pause the video if you need to head off and set up a Zoom account first. But once you have your Zoom account, then log in. And once you're logged in, head to the navigation panel on the left-hand side and click on Meetings. And that will then show up this panel here, it says Upcoming Meetings, and it's empty. So what we want to do is schedule a meeting. And you can see that there's a blue button on the right-hand side. So click Schedule a Meeting. And you are going to fill in all the details about your event. Again, we can keep this really simple because the Eventbrite listing has got everything we need to know. But I am going to call this event Big Lunch, just so I feel nice and confident that I'm clicking on the right event. You don't need to put in an event description, but you do need to put the correct date and time in for your event. So I'm going to select the same date and time for my event as I had on Eventbrite, and this is a 12-hour clock, this one. So you will need to bear that in mind and make sure that you select AM or PM as required. And again, you can only select in 15-minute increments here. But as you can see, Zoom is telling me your basic plan, which is that the free plan, has a 40-minute time limit, and that's absolutely fine. So we're going to leave all the other details as they are. And you'll see here in security that you have a passcode generated. And this is quite important because we're going to need to come back to this in a moment. So make a note of what that is. So I have A1, capital Y, 5, capital P, lowercase p. And I suggest that you select the option of waiting room. What this does is it tells you when somebody is waiting to join your event, and you can choose to admit them to your event when you're ready. I will leave all the other settings as they are and scroll to the bottom and click that massive blue button that says Save. And here you are. This is all of the information about your meeting that you have scheduled. And the important link we want is this big long one here, which says Invite Link. So we want you to select this link, right click on it, and copy. And you want to head over to Eventbrite once you've copied this link. So here we are at the event dashboard on Eventbrite with our Zoom meeting link copied. What we need to do in the navigation panel on the left-hand side is click on Online Event Page. So we'll head there now. And what we're going to do is add live video. Ignore this Connect Zoom. This is trying to link up your Eventbrite account with your Zoom account, and that's all a little bit more complex than we're going to need for the Big Lunch event. But we want to select the webinar option, and this allows us to just add in a link to anything. So we click on that. You don't need to add in another image here because the image for your event will show up on the page. But you need to add in a title, and we're going to call that Big Lunch. And the webinar URL is the Zoom link that we have copied from our scheduled meeting. So we're going to right click on that, or we're going to try to. There we go, and paste. And that's my Zoom link added in here. So here we are in the Add Webinar instructions. if your account is automatically set up to generate a password, as mine is, and yours probably will be as well, you saw me telling you to write that down. If you need to go back and find out what your passcode is, go back to your big lunch meeting in Zoom, and you'll see here in the security line, it says passcode and it's covered by stars, but you can click the blue word that says show. Excuse me. And then again, you can highlight this by clicking and dragging over the text and copy it. Then go back to Eventbrite and you want to right click and paste that code into your webinar description. So just before that, it's a good idea to let people know that they have to click on the webinar screen above to join the event. Enter passcode hyphen, and then there's your passcode. And that will let people join your event. Then in the bottom right corner, we want to click on the orange save button. And there it says at the top in a green bar, online event updated. So you now have an online event page. If you want to go back to your Zoom account, if you've logged out and you want to log back in, you want to see your meeting scheduled, log in and click on the meetings tab in the navigation panel on the left-hand side. And it will automatically go to upcoming meetings, and there it will show you Big Lunch. If you want to edit anything or view your links or your passcode, just click on that there, and all of your information is confirmed below: the date and time of your event, the link, the passcode there, you can click to show that. And you can scroll right to the bottom when you're ready to start your event. You can click on the start button at the bottom there, and that will start your event. Or if when you've navigated to your meetings tab in the navigation panel, you can see your Big Lunch event listed here. When you hover your mouse over it, there you can see the blue start button there, and you can start your event or you can edit it there as well. So if there's anything that I've missed or anything that's not clear or you need a little bit of help with, then please do email the Eden Communities team. We will be setting up a couple of opportunities for you to join a Zoom meeting with me, Kate, and I will help to walk you through how to set up your Eventbrite listing, how to schedule your meeting on Zoom, and how to copy and paste those links across into Eventbrite as well, so that people can access your event. Or if you've got any queries or you want me to check that it's all set up properly as it should be, then again, drop the Eden Communities team an email, and either they can do that or they can pass on any more complex queries to me as well. But thank you so much for listening to my video. I hope it's been helpful. And for those of you who need a little bit of extra help, then I will chat to you very soon, and enjoy your Big Lunch event. Bye for now.